anyone can become a millionaire. Now that's a bold claim for sure, but it's true. If you were to invest $100 in the stock market with an initial payment of $1,000 and you get a 10% annual return on your investment in 60 years, you would end up with almost $4 million. I personally went from being broke, depressed, anxious just a couple years ago to now running a profitable online business and loving my life. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can do it too. Step 1. Save money every month. A good rule of thumb would be to save at least 10% of what you make. Now for some people, this amount, 10%, is going to seem impossible, while for others, it's going to be easy and they already do it. It all depends on your perspective. If you're a new parent, you're working 2 jobs to try to provide for your family, then yes, you might be in a different situation, a tougher spot than somebody who has a job or a business who is already making 6 figures a year. But ideally, you should save between 30 to 40% of what you make every month. Personally, I like to be extremely conservative and save 80 to 90% of what I make every month. Why? Because I understand that what matters is the long-term game. Because the truth is that if you truly want to become a millionaire, to be able to afford a much higher quality of life than most people, and not just for a quick vacation for a couple days, but in your everyday life, you will need to work hard and make sacrifices for years. One thing that you can do is to sell a bunch of old things that you don't use anymore. I know a few people, they're very emotionally attached to every single object that they possess, even if they never even use it. But some of those things, they might be worth at least a few $100s. So if you sold them, it's money that you could put aside and later on invest, use to make more money. And when you're so emotionally attached to something that you don't even use, like it's been a year you haven't touched your guitar, you really have to ask yourself, am I possessing those things or are they possessing me? I know some successful people don't want to have a car or a house because now when you buy a car, is it possessing you or are you possessing it? Because if you have the car, well, now you need to use it to make sure that your money that you spent on that car, let's say $300,000 on a Ferrari, you have to make sure it's not going to go to waste. So now you feel pressured to go and to use it. And if you've got 10,000 different things, it might take away your time and your focus that you could otherwise put into your business to reach even new levels of wealth. So you've got to be very careful with these things. Now, I'll be completely honest with you. Saving money is not enough to become a millionaire. In fact, saving money never made anyone rich. You've got to understand that with inflation year after year, the money that you have saved up in your bank account or even in cash, it is losing value. Your buying power is decreasing year after year. And that is exactly why rich people invest in many assets. They buy real estate properties. They invest in the stock market because they understand that if they have money speaking in their bank account, so to speak, it's only going to lose value. Whereas if they were to invest it, they would grow their wealth. And for instance, with the compound effect that you will experience in the stock market, if you have a passive stock market investment strategy, it's not like it would even take you that much of your time every month. Yet over 60 years, you would have made millions. Now, should you invest in the stock market? Yes, but not right now. Why? Because the truth is that if you invest $50, $100, $200 a month in the stock market, it is not going to directly impact the quality of your life in a month or even in a year. But we'll come back to that in just a second. Step 2, create a budget. Creating a budget will allow you to be more careful and to see if you're not wasting your money on unnecessary things. Because I'm not like those guys who say that you can never spend $5 on a Starbucks coffee, that you can never go out and eat at the restaurant, that you've got to save every dollar, every penny, and penny pinch for the rest of your life. I don't believe in that. However, it is true that on your journey to becoming wealthy, in this case a millionaire, saving money is going to help you tremendously. The reason being that initial cash that you save, it will allow you to start a business, for instance, that will then be able to give you millions of dollars in annual revenue. Now you will have 2 types of expenses. One-time expenses, like going out to dinner, buying some clothes, and then recurring expenses, like electricity bills, phone subscriptions, gym memberships, etc. You can set a budget for how much money you are going to allocate to each category each month, for hobbies, for necessities, etc. You can even turn it into a game to not go over that limit. Honestly, gamifying, which is the practice of turning something into a game, like usually turning a habit into a game, it makes the process of sticking to something a lot more efficient and also a lot easier. Now it's fair that during some months, you'll be spending more money than during other months. When you're on vacation during the summer or during the Christmas break at the end of the year, you're most likely going to spend a bit more money than you would in other times. But if you take a look at a 12-month period, the lower months and the higher months will average themselves out, and you will have an average monthly budget. Step 3, set up automatic transfers. Now what do I mean exactly? The goal should be to have an automatic programmed transfer every month that will either put some of your money, let's say a percentage or a fixed amount, into a savings account, or it will invest it directly. You could do this manually, but the goal is to turn this into a habit, to do it every single month. Because remember, it's only with time and with consistent action or investing consistently, saving consistently, that you'll be able to reap the many benefits, the many rewards that come with the compound effect. Because you could invest $100 $100 in the stock market right now, it's not going to do anything for you. However, if you do it for 60 years, like we said it earlier, you would end up with almost $4 million. So that goes to show you the power of doing something repeatedly for a long period of time. I mean, quite frankly, the reason why most people don't actually get what they want in life, why their goals remain goals instead of becoming actual realities, it's because they quit way too soon. I'm sure you've seen on social media this image with the two people mining for diamonds. One is about to hit it big, but he decides to quit and he walks away. And one is hungry for more. He's mining for diamond ruthlessly and is about to hit the right spot. So that really goes to show you that in life you should never quit. The simple reason being, you never know how close you are to making it. What if you're going to quit on your business, but tomorrow you were going to sign your first client for $2,000 a month? That could literally change your life. That could allow you to quit your job. What if you're making, let's say, content on the internet and you want to give up because you're barely getting any traction? But what if in a week you are going to have that wine video that goes viral and changes everything for you? Step 4, make more money. Now there are a few ways that you can increase your income. The two most popular ways that most people would recommend is to either work longer hours or to get a raise, so to get better qualifications, to get a job that offers higher responsibilities and a higher pay. But the truth is that those two methods will only ever take you so far, as you are always going to need to trade your time for money. If you want to truly become wealthy, think millionaire, even let's say hell, billionaire, you need to find a way to dissociate the amount of hours that you spend working and the amount of money that you earn. Because the richest people on the planet, the billionaires, they're not billionaires because they work a billion more hours than you do. They're billionaires because they provide value to plenty of people. Think about Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon. The reason why he got so rich in the end is because he built a company that revolutionized e-commerce, the way that most of us purchase things online. Think about Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft. He made computers more accessible to everyday people, so naturally he was heavily rewarded for it. Now don't get me wrong, because there is no such thing as true passive income. Like maybe some people have this idea that they're going to just sip a pina colada on the beach because they've made some investment and now they don't have to work anymore, they can just relax, have fun. What can happen is that you put in work up front and then you reap rewards. But if you don't take care of something, at some point it's going to decay and die. It's kind of like if you want to have your own fruits and vegetables. You don't need to sow seeds every season because that wouldn't make sense. You sow and then you reap. But at some point, if you stop planting seeds in the soil, you will no longer be able to enjoy the fruit of your initial labor because things don't stay forever. Total passive income is an illusion. And even to be honest, not trading your time for money, because even billionaires, even millionaires, they still work. And if you see plenty of super successful, super rich people, they keep working, at some point it's not because of the money. Because they have plenty of money, they don't need any more, technically speaking. They're good for life. But the reason why they keep working is because they have a reason to do so that goes beyond money. They want to achieve something big. They want to change or to impact the world in a positive way. And that is what drives them to get up every day and to go and work. Because I'll tell you this, even if you could sip a nice drink on the beach, you make money, you have to do nothing, no work, no anything. Don't you think you'd get bored pretty quickly? It's gonna be fun for maybe a week or two, but then after that, come on, it's annoying, it's boring. We want challenges. I personally find my fulfillment from setting challenges for myself, setting goals for myself, and seeing that day after day, week after week, I get closer to reaching the big outcome. And then once you reach the big outcome, there is yet another big outcome that you can reach anyway. It's a never-ending game. Now, most jobs will not allow you to dissociate how much money you make and how long you work. With the exception of commission-based jobs, you will be paid per hour of your time. Even if you get better qualifications, and even if you provide more value, it is still tied down to how many hours you work. Now, growing up, I saw people being bankers, being lawyers, and they were making 6 figures a year. They were driving a Benz to the office every day. Everyone admired them and thought that they were a success. But I saw those people working 80 to 90 hours a week, being completely miserable, hating their lives because they had no time for their hobbies, for their friends, for their family, to do the things that they actually cared about doing. So I thought, okay, it's great to have that money, but what's the point of making more money if you can't even enjoy it and spend it however you please? So that is why I understood from a very young age that if I wanted to be free, not just wealthy, I needed to start my own online business. I needed to control as many variables as possible, and I wanted the ability to work from wherever I wanted in the world. I didn't want to be tied down to one single geographical location. Now, if you want to start your own online business, but you have no clue what to do and no clue where to start, I have recorded a free video in which I'm going to analyze every popular online business model. Together, we'll take a look at the pros and the cons, and I'm also going to share with you for completely free the 3-step process that you can use starting literally today to start your business and to get your first customers as quickly as possible. If you're interested, the link is in the description below. Step 5. Develop high income skills. You need to understand that the more demand there is for the skills that you possess, the more money people or employers are going to be willing to pay you for it. Because let's face it, the only reason why there is such a big difference in pay between a top lawyer and the average fast food employee is because of their difference in skills. The lawyer is solving infinitely more painful problems than the average fast food employee. So because the lawyer provides more value to people and to society in general, he is more heavily rewarded. That doesn't go to say that the fast food employee does not work hard, it's simply that they are doing something which does not allow them to have any leverage to begin with, but also they are not solving a painful, a deep problem for people. So naturally, because they provide less value, the reward that they get is a lot less significant. Now the truth is that I failed countless businesses before finding the consulting model, but every time I developed skills, in this case high income skills, that helped me to make the next business better and better until I finally succeeded. And building up all of those skills, marketing, client acquisition, persuasion, social skills, it's all of those things, all of those skills that have allowed me to be where I am today. Believe it or not, but building a successful business has a lot more to do with improving yourself as a person, self-improvement, than you would think. If you improve yourself as a person, I can guarantee that you'll improve your business, because your business is a reflection of you. Think about it. Your business will only ever be as good as the people who work in it. Step 6. Focus on the 20% of actions that will give you 80% of the results. What if I told you that there was a way to work less, yet to make significantly more money and to be significantly more successful? Would you believe me? Would you call me a liar, a scammer? Well, you see, it's not a lie, it's not a scam, it's a reality. The 80-20 principle, also known as the Pareto law, states that 20% of our actions only account for 80% of our results. So how can you tap into the 80-20 principle and benefit from it? In anything that you're doing, whether it be fitness, business, relationships, 20% of what you do is going to give you the bulk of what you want. You just need to figure out what it is specifically in your situation and double down on those key few activities that will give you everything you want. I'll give you a few examples. You start a consulting business, an agency. 80% of your time should be spent reaching out to people, having sales meetings, delivering for customers. That's literally it. You start a YouTube channel. 80% of your time should be spent making videos. And in this case, I would even go as far as saying that 90% of your time should be spent making videos, because plenty of people are going to simply focus on things that don't matter. So they might work 8, 10, 12 hours a day, let's say. But at the end of the day, they didn't do anything which is really productive, simply because they're not focusing on the key actions that will actually move the needle forward in their business. Step 7. Watch out for lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep is when you start to spend more money as you start to make more money. So each time you get a little increase in how much you make, you spend a lot more too. So you're essentially always living paycheck to paycheck. And it's a very dangerous game to play, especially in business, because your income could go up and then down the next month. Now with the consulting model, for instance, you can sign clients on a retainer, meaning every month you'll know how much you'll make. Because if you sign a client for 3 months, to give you an example, you know that the next month you'll also make, let's say, $2,000, and the month after that. But you honestly have to be careful, because I've seen this time and time again happen to plenty of young entrepreneurs. They're ambitious, they work hard, they start to get some initial traction. They get their first customer. 1 customer turns into 2, 2 turns into 3, and now they're making $10,000 a month, $15,000 a month. That's it. They think they have achieved everything that there is to achieve in life. They're a success. They start to spend more money, to take their family to expensive dinners, to go to the club and to waste thousands of dollars on the most expensive bottles of alcohol to impress other people. They start to rent a supercar, because why not? They're successful after all. But then all they're doing is entertaining this party entrepreneur lifestyle. And so it takes time and focus away from their business. And now they're starting to make less and less money. They're starting to get worse and worse results for their customers. So naturally the customers are dissatisfied, they ask for refunds, they want to leave, and that person who was a successful entrepreneur now has a terrible reputation. There's nothing worse than experiencing true freedom and true abundance and have it all be taken away from you. And now you're right back to square one. So be very careful. I'm not saying that you can't have this type of life if that's what you want, but you need to secure how much money you're making first, and you should reinvest most of what you're making anyway. When you finally make $10,000 a month, it's not the time to go and spend it and be stupid about it. It's the time to scale it to $100,000 a month, because now when you make $100,000 a month, you reinvest again most of it. You could spend $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, and have the time of your life. And now you don't risk going right back to square one. So make the smart choices. Play the long-term game. So what if people think that you're not as successful as you really are? Soon you'll be the one having the life that you want, and people will only be able to watch you from afar. Step 8. Start investing. You have to understand that compound interest is absolutely insane. Now, of course, if you invest $100 a month in the stock market today, it's not like the next month you're going to see a tremendous change in your life. In fact, your life is going to be just the same. However, if you do invest $100 a month in the stock market for 60 years straight and you get a 10% annual return on your investment, you will end up with almost $4 million. So imagine what happens if you invest even more money. And this also happens in any aspect of life. If you eat junk food every day for 50 years, can you imagine the state of your health at the end of it? Because today, eating unhealthy might not matter. I see plenty of young people, they don't care about their bodies, they don't care about what they eat, they don't pay attention to their health and fitness in any way. They think it's fine because they're young. But then they get into the habit of eating poorly, and it's going to carry on throughout the rest of their lives, and then they'll have some serious diseases, health issues, and they will wonder how come that happened. It's kind of like skipping a workout. You're going to say, oh, it's just this once, oh, it's just one time, and then once leads to another, and then another to to yet another, you get my point. Now, once you make more money, it is time to seriously start investing. Now, you should only invest in things that you understand, meaning you did proper research beforehand. Because when people say, oh, it's too risky to invest, you shouldn't invest. The truth is they're saying this because they have no clue what the hell they're doing. If you do your research beforehand, that should not happen. You should be able to get a good return on your investment. And then you only want to invest in things that have been around for a long time. At least 80% of the budget that you allocate to investing should be invested in things that have been around for a long time, like real estate or the stock market. Because in 50 years from now, companies will still need investors to help them fund the growth and development of their businesses. And people will still need a roof over their heads. Because I highly discourage you from investing in the new NFT that everyone was talking about last month. Because it's all hype, all fluff. And sure, if you want 20% of the time, you can make riskier investments. Because who knows, you could hit it big. But like I said, most of the time, be careful and play the long-term game. With that said, if you apply the 8 steps we went in great detail to cover in this video, your chances of becoming a millionaire are significantly higher than most of your peers. And that is a guarantee. And like I said, if you are interested in starting your own online business, the video that is going to analyze every popular online business model to figure out which one is the best is in the first link in the description.